Hello, viewers. This is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got red-green werewolves versus possibly mirror. We haven't seen a werewolf from this side yet, so I can't confirm that. It could be just another red-green aggro deck, which isn't unheard of. So Village Messenger gets in for 1, no spells will be played, so both of his werewolves will flip. The Pacifist will become a 4/4 that can attack, and the Messenger will become a 2/2 Menace. And as I've said in the past, Menace is a very powerful keyword ability. You know, at first glance you might not think that, only being blocked by 2 or more creatures, might not be that great. But when you think about it, they have, the obvious thing is, minimum of 2 creatures. In a situation like now, unless he plays 2 creatures, he can't block this guy. And even if he does play 2 creatures, he's got a 4/4 to deal with over a 2/2, so this guy most likely wouldn't get blocked anyway. So this little dude is just getting in for free damage regardless. But Tormenting Voice from the other side, discarding a Tormenting Voice to it. Too bad he didn't have a Fiery Temper to discard to Tormenting Voice so he could pay the 1 red and burn off the Moonrise Intruder. Because he's fallen way behind in tempo right now. He's going to take 6 damage here and go down to 11. And then second main phase, Werewolves throws down Duskwatch Recruiter. Who, he's a good werewolf card, but on top of that, he's a good normal card, regardless of whether he transforms or not. His 3 mana ability is actually really good. You see him in pretty much every green creature deck. Bant Aggro runs him. The Obzon, whatever you call him now, because it's not really Obzon midrange now. They might still call it that, but it's not the same deck anymore. But they run it because it's good. I've seen some green and black decks, and of course they run it. But long story short, if they're running green, typically you'll see a couple of copies of this because it's that good. 2 mana 2/2 isn't bad, and the possibility of him flipping to become a 3/3. Oh, the Gyre Reach Bandit. His ability once he's flipped is ridiculous, letting you transform werewolves when they come into play. But he's also ridiculous as a normal creature. 3 mana for a 3/2 haste is devastating. You just saw it. 7 more damage knocked him down to 4, and he would have had to have an answer for them. And a Kozilek's Return wouldn't be good enough. So there goes the guy on bottom, who we still don't exactly know what he's playing. So hopefully we'll get a better look at his deck in game 2. Alright, just like last game, first turn, Traverse the Ulvenwald, which is a really good card, even if you never get Delirium. First turn, getting another land so that you're guaranteed another play, and then on top of that, getting it out of your deck. And then, Delirium isn't that hard to get. And once you do, being able to search for a creature, straight up a creature, no requirements of mana cost or power or toughness or anything like that, or color, just straight up 1 green, search for a creature and put it into your hand. Okay, Magmatic Insight. So he's digging. Duskwatch Recruiter. So a little bit slower from the werewolf side, which should benefit the other side, since we still actually don't know what he's playing. But a fiery impulse puts an end to the recruiter before he flips or before he can be activated. Neglected Heirloom. Now, here's a card which I'm not exactly sold on. Kessick Forge Master. Now, it has its merits. I mean, it's a very easy thing to get transformed since you're running werewolves. It's a cheap card to play, it's a cheap card to equip. You know, it would turn him into a 3/2, and if it flips, and it gives it +3/+3 in first strike, which is a massive bonus. But, you know, equipment really. I don't want to say that equipment is bad, because it can be good. It's just, you know, it seems a little slow for, a creature-based aggro deck. Maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am, because, I like the idea of this card, that it transforms with the werewolf. So he equipped it, turned it into a 3/2. He's attacking in. No response, so he takes 3 and goes down to 17, and no spells were played, so he'll flip, it'll flip, and let's see, 4/3. So a 6/5 first strike is one hell of a creature to have to deal with. It's going to take at least 2 cards to get rid of. Maybe double Fiery Impulse, or Fiery Impulse and a Fiery Temper, or Kozilek's Return and a Fiery Impulse. Either way, he can't nuke this thing with a single burn spell, at least not yet. If he had enough mana, Fall of the Titans would work, but, that would be quite the commitment of mana to be able to kill this off. Though you would get to deal 5 to the face. But, that's not what's going to happen right now. Okay, Pyromancer's Goggles, that might be the card that saves him from the Werewolf Beatdown. Now, he is tapped out right now, other than the Goggles, but he could Goggles out a Fiery Impulse, and that would double up, and it would be enough to kill off the Werewolf. But if he doesn't, he's going to take 7 damage, thanks to a Howlpack Resurgence. Okay, throws down Hermit of the Natternolls, which is a 3/4 right now. And, when an opponent casts a spell during your turn, draw 2 cards. Okay, no responses, he takes the 7 damage. So it's getting down to crunch time. Werewolves has lethal on the board. And I still actually don't know what this guy is running. Is he running red-green ramp? Is it Goggles ramp? I think it might be Goggles ramp. Forgive my ignorance of a lot of the current deck lists. I've been gone for a while. And Goggles ramp is a new deck. I've only seen the deck list a couple of times. But I think that's what this is. Okay, he's going big. Hopefully. Oh, World Breaker. Oh, and Kozilek's Return can be activated for 5 damage. He gets. Oh, that is exactly enough. That was exactly enough. World Breaker's ability got rid of the Anthem effect, and then Kozilek's Return dealt 5 damage to him and 5 damage to him, which was exactly enough to kill off the Forge Master. So, staying alive and in good fashion because Werewolves is top decking. He has to be drawing gas, otherwise, Goggles Ramp is going to take this game over. Okay, Village Messenger. And since he has nothing else to do, he can equip the Ashmouth Blade to turn it into a 4/4 first strike. Now, he's on 20, so he can afford to take, whatever attack this guy chooses to send his way. But because he's on 10, I highly doubt that he's going to be attacking. He needs that big 5/7 blocker. Because as long as this guy is a 4/4 first strike, the World Breaker can take him easy. Oh, another World Breaker! That will get rid of the equipment and give him a second 5/7. And things are pretty much locked now. Ramp has pretty much got this game in the bag. So he attacks in with one World Breaker. No block, as you'd expect. He takes the 5 damage. And Breakneck Rider. 3/3, and if it's a werewolf, it becomes a 4/3, and attacking creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. Not bad. But too little too late. And he's attacking all in with his World Breakers. And Werewolves is taking it. He's going down to 5. Traverse the Ulvenwald. Gets him a mountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. He could throw down another World Breaker if he had it. Or he could follow the Titans right now. Which I think that might be what he's doing. Yep, there's the Fall of the Titans. He gets double so he can kill off both creatures and deal 10 damage to the face, and that's the game. That was a well turned around game. Werewolves is your typical aggro deck. If you can survive the initial assault and wipe out their field, you pretty much take away all the gas that they spent the whole game working on. And once they're top decking, it becomes highly unlikely that they'll win, especially when you have a deck that is very stable in the later game. So I'm going to end the video there. That was Red Green Werewolves versus Goggles Ramp. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the next video.